Bom dia, pessoal! Mais uma semana aqui tendo live, e hoje eu vou falar um pouco sobre direito na Namíbia, junto com o Henry, que vai estar se juntando para mim nessa live. Como sempre, né, as lives acontecem, então eu vou estar falando em inglês com o convidado e aí vou fazer a tradução para o português, né? Então, só para avisar sobre isso. E como elas acontecem, né, na forma de perguntas e respostas que eu tenho aqui já preparadas para os convidados. E vocês podem ficar à vontade também para estar enviando mensagens nos comentários aqui, ok? Então, vou esperar o Henry entrar aqui e já vamos estar começando. Hello, good morning.
Good afternoon, Klaus. How are you?
I'm well, thanks for asking. Hey, Henry, thank you so much for taking the time to join me in this live. I appreciate it.
Okay, no hassle, man. I was looking forward to it as well.
Nice. Thanks a lot. Um, let's just start by having you introduce yourself. So if
Okay,
you could speak a little bit about yourself, and
okay,
then after that I'll translate it into Portuguese so that more people can understand it.
all right. So yeah, basically, I'm a practicing lawyer from Namibia. I hold two professional qualifications: an LLB from the University of Namibia and a master's in mercantile law from the University of Pretoria. So basically, my specialization with the master's is banking law, competition, and information and communications technology law.
Nice. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and translate that to Portuguese.
Okay, okay.
Então, o Henry é bacharel em Direito pela Universidade da Namíbia e fez o mestrado em Direito dos Negócios Corporativos, também Direito Bancário, pela Universidade de Pretória, na África do Sul. Well, thanks for that introduction.
Okay.
To just a question that I thought of now. Is it common for people to maybe go to Pretoria or to other places to study? Or were you like the only one from another country?
Excuse me, I didn't get that question.
Oh, no
Maybe.
problem. So,
Okay.
so is it common for people from Namibia to go to Pretoria University?
Yes, basically anyone can as long as you meet the requirements. I mean, they're a bit strict, but as long as you have the requirements, you can make it. Most
Nice. And were most of your colleagues from South Africa? Did you have colleagues from other countries as well on your masters?
Yes, yes, we had people from all over Africa because Pretoria, the University of Pretoria, is actually ranked number one for law in Africa. So most people in Africa who don't go out of Africa would then go to South Africa to the University of Pretoria.
Nice.
So I had people from all over actually. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'll just go ahead and translate that as well.
Okay.
Então, eu pedi para ele se era comum, né, pessoas da Namíbia estudarem na Universidade de Pretória, na África do Sul, né, que é uma universidade bem prestigiada. Ele falou que sim, é comum que as pessoas estudem lá, e inclusive ele tinha colegas de toda a África, né, não da África do Sul, né, de todo o continente africano, estudando com ele lá na Universidade de Pretória. Então, algo bem interessante. Well, to start us with the set of questions that I have here for you,
Okay.
to start, I was wondering, what are the requirements to enter law school in Namibia?
The requirements are basically, I don't know now how the grading would work, but usually it's you need to have a certain number of points. I think it's 30 in five. So those so you would have to and a B in English. The works you would have a with your five subjects you would have
Mhm.
assignable maybe an A, B, C, but all of those should all add up to 30 in five, and then obviously the English should be a B. So for an A, it's equivalent to a 7. A B is 6 points, a C is 5, and I think an D is 4. So, but you would need now to have 30 in 5 of your subjects, including English. So
Okay, so let me just understand. Is that a test from the university?
Before you go for law school.
Okay. So you do like an
test.
Okay. So that's just from is that just like the course you take?
Yes, that's just the course you take for the LLB. There's no entry test. So basically,
Okay,
from high
got
school,
it.
you just need. Yeah.
Ok, ok. Então, a faculdade de Direito na Namíbia, ela é muito semelhante ao que a gente passa aqui no Brasil também, né? É um bacharelado, então você pode entrar diretamente, né? Como a gente já viu em algumas lives de alguns dos outros países, que você tem que fazer um curso de bacharelado antes de entrar nesse grau profissional de Direito. Na Namíbia, então, assim como o Brasil, você pode entrar diretamente, né? A partir do ensino médio, você já pode ingressar na faculdade de Direito. Okay. And after that, what are some of the classes you are required to take during law school?
So pretty much the curriculum has standard modules that everyone must do. But in your final year, you get to select 3 modules that you want to do as electives. But pretty much you do introduction to law, you would have law of contract, commercial law, human rights law, a lot of those. But it's only in the final year where you get to do electives such as mining. Mining law is an elective. Intellectual property is also an elective. Competition law, environmental law, negotiable instruments, all those are electives. But pretty much everything else is compulsory.
Okay, got it. In Brazil, I feel like it's the same way. We pretty much don't have as many electives, or at least in my university course, we have very few electives as well. Most of people have the very same curriculum.
Yeah, that's the thing. The LLB is sort of like a stepping stone to whatever you want to do later. So you pretty much have to do everything. It's only at postgraduate level where you sort of get to specialize, I would say.
Got it. Yeah, I agree. Então, na Namíbia, assim como no Brasil também, né, a Universidade de Direito acaba tendo um currículo separado, já pronto, né, para que todos os alunos venham e cursem as mesmas disciplinas, né, para que todo mundo tenha um conhecimento geral sobre tudo nesse bacharelado. E aí, no último ano, lá, eles conseguem escolher algumas matérias eletivas, né, ele mencionou aqui direito bancário, direito de mineração, nesse sentido. Obrigado, professor Colasso, por estar junto aqui na live. Seu comentário é muito valioso para mim. Obrigado mesmo. Well, and what were some of your favorite classes during law school?
My favorites, anything that had to do with commercial law. So that would be the law of contract, intellectual property, law of associations, law of commercial law, all of those, company law as well. So pretty much commerce.
Nice. Então eu pedi quais que eram as matérias favoritas do Henry também, e ele falou que tudo que tem a ver com direito comercial era algo que ele gostava muito, né? Então, direito de propriedade, direito dos negócios, direito empresarial, tudo isso sempre foi algo que ele curtiu na faculdade. And during your college experience, do you have to take a clinic? Do you have to have, pro bono hours, internship? Do you have any of those things being mandatory?
Yes, there's actually what we call legal aid, and that's done in your final year as well. So what you do is you get assigned a project, and basically the essence of it is that you should go to an indigent community. So like people who are in need of help. So for us, what we did was we went to a refugee camp in Namibia, Osire, just to pretty much raise awareness of the plight of the refugees, and yeah, that was in essence what we had to do. So legal
Wow.
aid
Okay.
is what we do. So it's pro bono, but you get marks for it. But it's pretty much a requirement for everyone that goes through law school.
Got it. And how long does that take?
So if you do,
For how long did you do
so
your
it's
legal
sort
aid?
of, excuse me, Klaus, I didn't get your question.
Sorry, you froze a little bit. Yeah, I can definitely
Okay.
repeat that. It just froze a little bit. How long did it take for you to complete your legal aid?
Oh, so what you do is it's a module like any other. So you would have it for the whole year, but it's only in
Okay.
the second semester where you go now for the project itself. Yeah,
Ok, got it.
but,
Então,
yeah.
a minha pergunta foi se tinha algum tipo de núcleo de práticas jurídicas, né? Algum tipo de estágio obrigatório, pro bono obrigatório, algo assim, na universidade na Namíbia. E a resposta foi que eles têm algo chamado Legal Aid, que durou um ano inteiro, né? E no caso do projeto que o Henry foi fazer, era dentro de um campo de refugiados que existia lá. Okay, that sounds like quite interesting. You know, I'm always interested in the subjects of refugees and stuff like that. And how was the experience for you?
The experience was very enlightening. Most people are not aware. You hear about things just in the media until you have first-hand experience. But it was eye-opening, to say the least.
Got it. That sounds super nice. Well, that's about. Oh, that's a good question. So somebody just asked here, Winnie, Manika just asked, what is pro bono? So
Okay, can I explain?
yeah, please
Yeah,
go ahead.
All right. So pro bono is basically anything that you do for free. You don't charge for it. So like even like law firms would take on cases for anyone, and you wouldn't charge the client. So that's pro bono.
Great, yeah. A gente teve uma pergunta aqui pedindo o que era pro bono, né? Obrigado por perguntar. E pro bono tem essa noção, né? Que é uma causa que você não cobra, né? Uma causa que é pega sem ter um custo, né? Seria algo tipo trabalho voluntário, nesse sentido. Se alguém que está assistindo tiver uma definição melhor também quiser mandar aqui, fica à vontade. That's pretty nice. And how long does law school take in Namibia? How long is your LLB?
It's 4 years.
4 years, nice. Então, o curso de Direito na Namíbia tem a duração de 4 anos. And do you have a test after you're done with law school to allow you to become a lawyer?
Yes, so what happens after law school is, depending on your aspirations, of course, if you want to be a practicing lawyer, you would have to go through what we call JTC, Justice Training Center. So you would do 11 modules for the whole year, and you write board exams, and then at the same time, you need to complete a certain number of hours at the law firm. Only then, after having completed those hours and having passed all those modules, can you be admitted to the bar.
And are those modules provided by the university? Are those modules in the university?
Yes. But it's in conjunction with the Ministry of Justice and the University of Namibia. Because now the focus is on practical experience, because throughout your LLB, it's mostly theory.
Got it. And how long does it take for you to complete all the modules?
Excuse me?
So, how long does it take for you to complete all those modules?
It's a year. You do it pretty much, or 9 months, I think. But then you would have classes for each module, you will do it pretty much in a week.
Okay.
So yeah, and then for like 3 months, and then you write your midterm board exams, and only towards the end of the day you write your final board exams now. And after having passed that and having completed your practical working hours, only then can you be admitted to the bar.
Okay, and you said those are 4 exams, is that correct?
It's 2. It's
Two?
basically two sets, but
Okay.
it's two sets of 11 modules.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, got it.
yeah, so in essence, you are writing 22 papers in a
Wow.
year.
Ok, that's interesting. Let me just translate that and I'll get back to that. Então eu perguntei
Okay.
como que funciona para você ser um advogado na Namíbia, né? Depois que você termina a faculdade de Direito, o que que tem que fazer? E aí o Henry explicou um pouco. Eles têm 11 módulos que são feitos, né? Uma espécie de curso mais prático, onde a Universidade da Namíbia, junto com o Ministério da Justiça, realiza a aplicação desses módulos, né? Cada um desses módulos contém duas provas, dois testes que eles têm que fazer. Então, é um total de 22 testes no final. E também, durante esse tempo em que eles estão fazendo os testes, também ele tem uma quantidade de horas de serviço que tem que ser feitos em uma firma de direito para poder completar o tempo necessário, né, as horas necessárias para estar se tornando um advogado, para poder ser admitido ao bar, né, enfim, ordem dos advogados locais. Yes, that sounds like a lot of work. That's very interesting, though.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So let me just share with you how it works here in Brazil. So it kind of, is an exchange, actually.
Okay.
Here in Brazil, law school takes 5 years. So it will take you 5 years to complete your graduation. It's also a bachelor's degree here. And here in Brazil, we call it like by semesters, So when you're in your 9th semester, you can start taking the bar exam. So we have a bar exam here, but you don't need to finish law school before taking it. You can start doing it when you're in the 9th semester.
All right. So, but then what happens when, let's say, you don't complete the LLB, the bachelor's degree, and then you pass the bar exams? So how do you then go about it?
So you're just admitted into the bar once you have your bachelor's degree completed, once you have your bar admission certificate. So you have to get all the documents together and then give it to the bar. So there isn't, it doesn't happen that you, for example, pass the bar, but you don't finish law school. So you can't be a lawyer just, doing that.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And that's like a court case also, you apply to the court and you take oath?
Oh, good question. So how it works here, first of all, you take just a written test. So it's, with alternatives, you just pick the correct alternatives. That's the first phase of the exam. And then in the second phase of the exam, the idea is that you can actually draft a legal document. So that's part 2 of the exam. Mm-hmm. And they don't happen at the same day, So you take the first part and then you wait for the results and then you take part 2. And once you're approved in both of those and also in law school, you just gather your documents and send it to the bar and then you're admitted into it. So you don't need to have an additional internship after that. But during law school, we are required, it's mandatory to have your course recognized by the bar. It is mandatory that you do that you do an internship that is provided by the university. We would call it something like the Center for Judicial Practices, something like that is what we do here during law school. So that in here in my university it takes 2 years. So it's pretty much a pro bono clinic that takes in like mostly family law cases.
All right. We actually have a lot of those.
Oh, got it. Nice. Então, eu estava só explicando aqui como que funciona aqui no Brasil também, né? Que o nosso curso de Direito dura 5 anos, que depois que nós terminamos esses 5 anos, né? E dentro desses 5 anos tem um NPJ, né? Um Núcleo de Práticas Jurídicas, que é obrigatório. E depois de finalizar isso, tem, então, um exame de ordem, né? Para poder ser admitido à Ordem dos Advogados do Brasil. Então, tem um exame que tem 2 fases. Então, era isso que eu estava explicando para o Henry aqui também. And it's always interesting to see because after interviewing maybe 5 or 6 countries now, It's just very interesting to see how each country takes on legal studies. And it seems like most of the world does have a test after law school to make sure that their lawyers are, ready to practice.
Yes, it's basically there's what they call being a fit and proper person. That's basically what they are trying to have you achieve in order to practice law. It's not a given that because you have an LLB you can practice law. It's completely different.
Yeah,
But
same
then of
same
course,
here in Brazil.
because but there are some other positions which don't require you to be admitted to the bar. So with an
Hmm.
LLB you could still do court work and like prosecution, criminal prosecution. You don't need to be
Wow.
admitted. Yeah.
Okay. Here in Brazil, you do. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is, right? Yeah. Can you tell me a little more about that? Like, if you want to be a criminal prosecutor, like, can you even go into the court, or can you? What do you do exactly without being admitted into the bar?
Basically, the prosecution authority, or rather the power, it vests in the prosecutor general. So there's basically the head of criminal prosecution. So what the prosecutor general does is she delegates that power to people who are employed in her office, and that would then serve as your sort of like your right of audience to go to court.
Okay. So let me just make sure that I understood this correctly. So the prosecution is somebody who send cases into the court, who make the beginning of those cases and stuff like that.
Yes, yes. And she then delegates, because she has the authority to prosecute the criminal matters, right? So she then delegates the authority to her colleagues. Because it's an entry level position, straight from the university, you could be a prosecutor.
Okay. Wow. That's very interesting. If you want to do pretty much anything related to law here, you need to have um, the bar admission. You need to have your bar number. Otherwise, you may be committing a crime that is called the irregular exercise of the profession. So,
Yes, we actually also have that.
oh, okay, okay. Uh,
Yeah.
well, I'll just go ahead and translate some of that. Então, o que a gente estava conversando aqui, né, é que na Namíbia tem algumas profissões jurídicas que não necessitam da admissão na ordem dos advogados. Então, a gente estava conversando sobre essa diferença, né, e eu falei que aqui no Brasil quase tudo que você faz relacionado à área jurídica, você tem que ser admitido à OAB, né, com risco de estar cometendo crime de exercício irregular da profissão. Então, é muito interessante nesse sentido. E aí ele falou que talvez eu tenha que dar uma pesquisada depois para entender exatamente qual que é essa profissão, né? Mas a questão de prosecutor criminal, né? Então, alguém que faz essa prossecução criminal, eu vou procurar se colocar nos stories depois para ter certeza exatamente o que é isso. Essa profissão ela não necessita da admissão dentro da ordem dos advogados. E aí, quando eu comentei sobre nós termos o crime aqui de exercício irregular da profissão, ele ainda me explicou que lá também isso é um crime, tanto quanto aqui no Brasil. Well, Henry, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. It was a very good exchange of knowledge, and it's also always super interesting for me to learn about law, school, and legal studies in other countries.
Yes, anytime, Klaus. I mean, we've been trying to do this for the longest time. Also, I also just want to apologize because it took us a lot of time, but I'm finally happy that we are here.
Don't worry, that was great. I was just wondering before we finish if you'd have any advice for somebody who's studying law now, or just if you have any word of motivation for people who may be watching today.
Basically, I think anyone who's studying law, whatever you would want to get in, I think it would be rewarding personally, because it's basically what governs all of us. So everything is subject to the law. And if you are looking for impact, I think where else would you do it if not in law? Because it governs all of us. But then obviously getting wherever you want to, it would require a lot of sacrifice. I think time management is key. But personal reward, I think for me, is also what I take out from it. It's mostly what my highlight actually.
Thank you for that. Então eu pedi pro Henry se ele tinha algumas palavras finais, né, de motivação, alguma coisa assim. E aí ele falou que para ele foram muitos sacrifícios para poder terminar a Universidade de Direito, né? Mas que a administração do tempo foi algo chave nesse processo. E também que você tem uma recompensa pessoal muito grande por fazer esse sacrifício, né? É o lado bom disso. Well, thanks again for your time. I hope you have a great weekend, that we can still keep in touch. And if I ever stop by Namibia, I'll make sure to let you know beforehand.
Definitely, definitely. Thanks for having me, man.
All right. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Likewise.
Have a good one. Pessoal, obrigado por terem foi muito legal poder aprender um pouco mais sobre os estudos de direito na Namíbia. E essa live vai ficar gravada, então se você perdeu alguma parte, não se preocupe. Mais uma vez, obrigado e tenha um ótimo fim de semana, galera. Até mais.